PFAS are especially frustrating because you usually can't see, smell, or taste them, yet they can remain in the water you drink, cook with, and use every single day. These persistent chemicals have been linked to immune, developmental, and reproductive concerns. So municipally treated water doesn't automatically mean PFAS-free water. If you're trying to choose the best water filter for PFAS, the real decision is whether you want protection at one drinking water tap, a portable countertop setup, a gravity-fed system, or filtration throughout the whole house. I'm going to compare the PFAS performance, treatment method, daily output, installation, and ownership experience of 5 very different options. And if you want to check any of them out for yourself, I've put links to the best price I've found for each product in the description and pinned comment. Starting with our 5th pick, Cloud RO is an under-sink reverse osmosis system that removes PFAS along with lead, fluoride, microplastics, pesticides, and pharmaceuticals. Reverse osmosis separates dissolved contaminants through a membrane rather than relying on taste and odor improvement alone, so you're purifying the water that fills your glass, coffee maker, soup pot, and ice tray. The system then adds trace amounts of calcium, magnesium, potassium, and zinc back into the purified water, giving you a more mineral-balanced finish after the heavy filtration work is done. Because this is water you'll drink several times a day, that combination of broad contaminant reduction and remineralization carries far more weight than a minor change in flavor. An internal hydraulic pump maintains water pressure, so you can supply the included dedicated faucet, connect the system to a refrigerator or ice maker, or place it farther away in a basement. Purified water collects in a sizable 2.8-gallon holding tank, which means you have a ready reserve instead of waiting for the membrane whenever you open the faucet. The main unit measures 11 by 7 by 16 inches, while the separate tank measures 9 by 9 by 15 inches, allowing both parts to fit inside a standard undersink cabinet. Cloud runs from a battery pack rather than a wall outlet, so you don't need to rearrange your kitchen electrics to accommodate it. Integrated sensors track water quality, consumption, and remaining filter life, then send that information to the Cloud app. Instead of following a fixed calendar and hoping for the best, you get replacement guidance based on how much water your household uses and the condition of that water. That connected ownership experience matters if the best PFAS water filter for you needs to provide both serious drinking water treatment and clear maintenance guidance. A family of 4 will typically replace the filters every 9 to 12 months, and the battery gets changed at the same time, keeping the routine neatly consolidated. If you want verified PFAS treatment with app-based monitoring, stored water on demand, and flexible refrigerator or ice maker connections, Cloud RO is the most connected under-sink option in this lineup. Moving to number 4, the SoftPro Chlorine plus Carbon Whole House Water Filter takes a very different approach by treating city water before it reaches the fixtures throughout your home. Its catalytic carbon targets PFAS, chlorine, chloramine, pesticides, herbicides, petroleum compounds, heavy metals, and pharmaceutical byproducts. If you want the best water filter to remove PFAS across more than one drinking faucet, whole home placement is the key distinction here. That gives you broader household coverage, so the water used for drinking, cooking, brushing your teeth, washing produce, showering, and making ice all passes through the treatment media. For anyone who doesn't want PFAS filtration restricted to a single kitchen faucet, that point of entry design is the main reason to consider SoftPro. Catalytic carbon removes contaminants through adsorption, which means compounds stick to the enormous internal surface area of the carbon as water moves through the tank. Unlike with cheaper filters, SoftPro's upflow configuration sends water upward through the media, lifting and circulating it to improve contact rather than leaving the water to follow the easiest fixed path. That extended interaction supports robust contaminant removal while maintaining the higher flow needed when showers, sinks, and appliances are running together. The system is naturally low maintenance because it doesn't require electricity, treatment chemicals, or a wastewater connection. The catalytic carbon media is rated for approximately 600,000 to 1 million gallons under typical conditions, with a service life range of up to 6 to 10 years. That means you're working with a large media tank rather than swapping small cartridges several times a year, which suits homeowners looking for a longer-term installation. SoftPro backs the system with a lifetime limited warranty, adding protection to a product intended to remain part of your home's plumbing for years. If your goal is reducing PFAS and disinfectant residue before city water reaches any faucet or shower, the SoftPro Chlorine plus Carbon Whole House water filter is the strongest whole home option here. What pushed you to start looking into PFAS filtration, and are you trying to treat drinking water at one tap or water throughout the house? Leave a comment with your water source, whether you rent or own, and any local test results you have. I read all these comments carefully, and those details make it much easier to help narrow down the most sensible treatment direction for your home. At number 3, the BOROUX Legacy Gravity Water Filter System gives you PFAS filtration without an undersink installation, drain line, electrical outlet, or permanent plumbing change. You pour tap water into the upper stainless steel chamber, gravity pulls it through the foundation filters, and treated water collects in the lower 3-gallon chamber ready for the spigot. Those filters reduce PFAS alongside lead, chlorine, microplastics, volatile organic compounds, pesticides, pharmaceuticals, and disinfection byproducts. If you're looking for the best PFAS filter without altering your plumbing, this gravity-fed approach gives you substantial drinking water capacity while keeping the setup completely separate from the home's pipework. That makes it a practical route for treating the water you drink, cook with, give to pets, or pour into a kettle when you want more capacity than a conventional pitcher. The system is WQA certified to NSF and ANSI 42 and NSF, ANSI CAN 401, while its filters meet NSF, ANSI, and CAN 372 requirements for lead-free materials. With 2 filters installed, it processes up to 2 gallons per hour and suits as many as 4 users when refilled once daily. Adding 4 filters doubles the maximum filtration rate to 4 gallons per hour, supporting as many as 8 users or a household that regularly uses filtered water for cooking as well as drinking. You can therefore adjust throughput by changing the filter configuration rather than replacing the entire system. Each pair of foundation filters lasts up to 12 months, while a 4-filter setup extends the combined capacity to as much as 24 months, depending on incoming water quality. The included automatic primer prepares the filters in around 90 seconds, removing much of the usual wrestling match involved in getting gravity filters ready for service. Its chambers use high-grade 304 stainless steel, and BOROUX provides a lifetime warranty on those steel components, giving the countertop system a durable long-term structure. For renters, larger families, and anyone who wants meaningful PFAS reduction without altering the plumbing in any way, the BOROUX Legacy Gravity Water Filter System is the most capable gravity-fed choice in this lineup. Coming in at number 2, the RKIN Zero Installation Purifier Countertop Reverse Osmosis Water Filter gives you certified PFOA and PFOS treatment in a self-contained countertop format. Its PFOA and PFOS reduction passed NSF and ANSI 58, with measured reductions ranging from roughly 96% to just over 99% across the test cycle, which is very impressive. It also carries IAPMO certification for reducing total dissolved solids, fluoride, lead, hexavalent chromium, and trivalent chromium. That combination gives you direct verification for the 2 best-known PFAS compounds while reducing several other dissolved contaminants that may contaminate the same drinking water supply. If you want the best PFOA water filter without installing anything beneath the sink, RKIN's certified countertop treatment is the clearest match in this lineup. Daily use works more like a countertop appliance than a plumbing system. Fill the lower pitcher from your tap, slide it into the machine, press the button, and let the RO process run. In around 15 minutes, the upper dispenser holds approximately half a gallon of purified water ready for drinking, coffee, tea, and cooking. Water loads and dispenses from the front, so you don't need extra clearance above or beside the unit when placing it beneath cabinets. The machine uses 24 watts and operates at a 1-to-1 recovery rate, producing 1 portion of purified water for roughly 1 portion of reject water. You can choose the Alka Pure version, which adds calcium and magnesium after reverse osmosis and finishes at approximately pH 7 to 8, or the OnlyPure version, which targets a near-zero TDS result. Both versions use the same countertop concept, so your choice comes down to whether you prefer a mineral-finish drinking water or the lowest possible dissolved solids reading. The unit measures 9.5 inches wide, 14.5 inches deep, and 16.25 inches high, giving you substantial purification without permanently occupying the cabinet below your sink. If you want independently verified PFOA and PFOS reduction with no drilling or plumbing work, the RKIN Zero Installation Purifier Countertop Reverse Osmosis Water Filter is the clearest countertop pick. Finally, our #1 pick is the KIN Pro RO Reverse Osmosis Drinking Water System, a compact 6-stage setup that installs beneath the kitchen sink and supplies a dedicated drinking water faucet. Its high-efficiency RO membrane reduces dissolved salts, heavy metals, bacteria, and total dissolved solids, while the complete system carries NSF and ANSI 58 certification for reverse osmosis contaminant reduction. When you're comparing the best water filters for PFAS, the Pro RO represents the traditional undersink route, membrane filtration, stored water, and a dedicated faucet for daily drinking and cooking. That membrane-based approach is what makes the Pro RO relevant when persistent dissolved contaminants are the priority rather than taste and odor alone. The 50-gallon-per-day membrane feeds a 3-gallon storage tank, so purified water is held under pressure and ready when you need to fill a glass or cooking pot. Before water reaches the membrane, an integrated sediment stage captures dirt, sand, and suspended solids, helping keep larger debris away from the finer treatment stages. Granular activated carbon then reduces chlorine, chloramine, volatile organic compounds, pesticides, and herbicides, so the membrane receives pre-treated water, and you gain broader chemical reduction alongside dissolved solids treatment. After reverse osmosis, another carbon stage polishes the water before coconut shell carbon and calcite add calcium and magnesium back into it. The result is a complete treatment path that moves from visible debris to disinfectant residue, dissolved contaminants, and finally, mineral-balanced drinking water. KIN combines the sediment, initial carbon, RO membrane, and polishing carbon inside one 4-stage cartridge, which you replace every 12 months under normal use. The 2-stage carbon and calcite remineralization cartridge follows a 6-month replacement schedule, so the ownership routine comes down to 2 clearly defined components rather than a row of separate housings. At 9.75 inches wide, 13.5 inches deep, and 15.5 inches high, the main unit keeps the filtration stages compact while the separate storage tank maintains ready-to-use water and steady faucet pressure. If you want a traditional undersink installation, NSF-certified reverse osmosis, stored water on demand, and a mineral restoring finish, the KIN Pro RO Reverse Osmosis Drinking Water System is the best overall fit in this lineup.